We are live on YouTube for the first time ever, and you can see the bowl. Oh, I was eating my pierogies out of. That's really appetizing. and we're here. I'm here to talk about the process of creating the great regret. Sorry about the camera angle. You have to look up at me like I'm lording over you because this is just sitting on my coffee table. Um, but yeah, the process of writing the great regret is very hazy. I think I wrote it outside. I was in this um, I was on this kick of writing in drop C tuning, and I was also learning how to finger pick with my ring finger, which I for years only used for like pinching like chords, like blocked chords, instead of like actually picking arpeggios and things like that. So I was in this process of learning that, and I was applying it to these songs I was writing in drop C that were never intended to be songs, um, which is how I write a lot of the time. I'm like I already have a bunch of songs that I'm working on. Like I'm just playing, and so um, this came about just sitting outside in the park outside my house, just strumming on the bench. Do, 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 and that melody was just this hook in my head. I went, okay, this is an idea I'm gonna cling on to because it had this hook in me from that do 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 part. So it started like that, probably. I mean, not too long before I wanted to record it. So maybe in like the summer or end of summer, around the same time that I recorded it. It wasn't long after that I decided to record it. Um, and this is a weird point in my life. I was still teaching online, which I never wanted to do, ever, but I compromised. And I mean, it's one of those things that's really hard to like forgive when you do something you really didn't want to do. Um, and that was because of all these bogus restrictions that were going on, and the place I worked for not respecting my choices, and me not knowing how to go forward with that whole process of holding them accountable, because I didn't want to, you know, and I would never want to wear a mask and teach a child and imprint in them some sense that there's a threat when there really isn't, when there wasn't. It was all fabricated, right? Um, anyway, so I was burnt out from that, and the lyrics took a while to come through, but the music happened outside. The lyrics came through later, um, a lot later. The lyrics were the last thing that came into place. So yeah, so I recorded the guitar in this. That was the first thing I recorded, was the guitar, and I recorded it in this shipping container studio that is on property of someone I've known for a long time. Like we weren't, and we still aren't like super close, but we kind of crossed paths at different times. At least a couple times. I met him at Maple Skate Park, so I met him through skateboarding, and after that maybe we did some filming in like 2000, I don't know, 12 or 13 or something, or 14, I don't know. That general span, it was kind of hazy, but he would film on his VX, I think he had at the time, and then he kind of just vanished, and somehow he came back around in my life through new people I was meeting through skateboarding. They became friends, and then I ended up at his property, and he was showing me the studio, and I thought, well, this would be awesome if I could just bring my laptop here with my interface and record, just to get away from being at home, and I can turn up the volume nice and loud, and that's where that all began. Was recording that guitar. It was, I think, like a Super Champ, or it was a cool like tweed Fender amp. Um, had two mics on it. I had my Art 3, I think it's called, C3 or something, mic, and I had an old pencil mic that my dad I think found at like an AKG pencil mic. My dad found at like a Salvation Army or something, which it has a very nice. It picks up the mid range, the high mid range really well, and the I do this all intuitively. So, and the Art mic is very warm, so it was a nice balance, right? It picked up everything I wanted to pick up with the amp, and that was that. I had this guitar track that was very challenging to record because it was a new song for me with a new finger picking technique using my ring finger, and uh, it was very challenging. And I don't even know if in the recording I was doing that or what I did. It was just like I had to get this down, so I did my best thing I could do at the time, my best take, and then that was that. And for a while it sat there. It sat there for a few months, maybe a few months at least, and it reached a point where it was kind of going in the background, but I knew it was a song I really wanted to finish. And these same friends had a drum set in their basement with some guitar amps and stuff. They had this like jam space set up, and they lived just across. They lived just across the park from me, which was awesome. And I cherished those times. I see those as special times. So it was a special time where I could go down there and hit some drums, set up. I just recorded a lot of stuff with like my one Art mic, and I just set it up over the snare, and it was like with my hands, doing that whole thing. I don't know if I did that fancy a beat, but I did that kind of thing, simple, nice little shuffly beat. And my friend Ethan, who's in the picture in the thumbnail, he had a bass that I tried to fix, and I don't think I really fixed it that well because I've never really fixed anything that's electronic like that and soldered and anything. So I tried to fix this bass. So I was using that, and I never played bass too much, and that was really fun. That one day I recorded me the drums and in the bass, and I had some photos on Instagram of that. Like there was like a potato that they had hanging over the drums, and it was sprouting, and there was this like magical feeling about the takes that I was getting, and they were raw, and the washing machine in the basement was going, and like there was people yelling upstairs, and it just felt like there was this like get it down sketching kind of thing about it that was exciting. And yeah, so that was like when it really became like clear, like this is awesome, this is coming together. And the other things you hear are like you can hear like a synth going on, and all that happened later. But yeah, the content of the lyrics, I guess, is the more interesting thing. That I guess I was toying with in The Great Regret, which I know is kind of a silly title, playing on The Great Reset, but was kind of laying out sounds pretty harsh in the beginning, like kill the stupid and kill the witness. Like get rid of all traces, which is something I've learned is really what's going on in this world is the people who have been duped, if they were to find out how duped they have been and how screwed over and all the terrible atrocity that's happened to them when they couldn't go and visit their loved one in the hospital or go to the funeral when they died, or if they died, or when they got kicked out of a store because they didn't cover their face, or all of these things, or like because they covered their face they like breathed in all this terrible toxic microplastic and put it in their skin or whatever happened, all this stuff that's been happening to them, and even before all that, if they were to really come to terms with that they'd be, I don't know, like volatile, and that's like with that idea, like these people are getting, we're removing those people, kill the stupid and kill the witness, who's barely brighter than a compact disc, which is kind of a silly line, I guess, but uh, I don't know. It's up for you to decide. Um, yeah, and the point is like it's everywhere. It's like miscellaneous, randomized deceit. It's everywhere. And I guess like that. I'll leave it there because I don't want to explain everything because that's boring. But it's just this idea of like it really is about the title does fit. I think it really is about this deceit and the kind of delicate balance we have to play. Us who can see it versus those who can't come to terms with the deceit they've went through. And I think that those kind of themes are more even personal than like a global thing. They're more like it can happen in any area, right? I think the thing about songs that are more subtle, which I think a lot of my songs are more subtle in that sense. They're not like this is what it is. They're more artful, I guess, in that way. Is that I mean, if you don't look at them that way, they can maybe seem like I don't know. If you don't look at certain things the way that they are presenting themselves and you try to fit them into a simple view, it's just about what I just said. But I don't really believe that it's about the thing I just said with the first lyrics about the whatever the state of the world. I think it's more so just about the inner challenge of for in yourself of admitting in all areas of your life where these we can be in denial. So I guess that was the theme is more like denial. This is the exploration. So I was just playing with that theme when I wrote it of denial and how much you should push into trying to shake someone out of denial. Um, so that's the Great Regret. It's out tomorrow. It's out May 2nd, 2022, which I mean, for me, is actually pretty quick for producing a song from, I guess, starting to record it in like September, August, I think, August. So August till now. I mean, I got to speed things up here, and I will. So this is just the first of some more releases for me, and that's been really tough. And it's been a bigger risk I've learned is not sharing. It's been the bigger risk than sharing, and that's I guess where my own personal experience comes into the song, is that it's a bigger risk not um, admitting when you've done harm or when harm has been done to you. It's such a huge risk to try to stay silent and safe in this silence is not reality. It's not true. Anyway, I'll end it here. So for anyone who watches this, that was my quick 13 13 and a half minutes about The Great Regret. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy whatever else you find on this channel. Thanks. Goodbye.